guys, and I'm a critic. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers. They got 10 picks. It's going to be a long video. Roll it. The Green Bay Packers got 10 picks. How many of them were worthwhile? How many of them do it? Did they pull the old Green Bay thing where they pick players that most diehard Green Bay fans, some on YouTube that I've never met but love to, are just confused? And is that just a typical Green Bay fandom reaction to, why'd you pick that guy when we needed this position? Not just a guy, but we need that position. Is that a typical Green Bay Packer thing? Or am I just enjoying their misery because I do that sometimes? I don't know. They got 10 picks. Let's get down to it. Let's not waste too much time. So, with the 25th overall selection of the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle, Arizona. We all knew Green Bay needed offensive tackle. We knew. But before they had a chance to even strike it rich, teams were picking up tackles. It's like getting a box of a dozen donuts and all the good donuts are gone. I think I've used this metaphor before, but I like donuts. But I think it kind of makes more visual sense to me when it comes to donuts. So they needed an offensive tackle. Now, granted, there was a guy named Graham Barton that was there that could play tackle, but a lot of people were expecting to be more interior and probably a center, and Tampa got him, so thank you, Green Bay. There's also talks about them potentially, trying to shore up their defense because injuries plagued them in the secondary department, but they want to protect their newest investment in Jordan Love, and hopefully that his first year as a starting quarterback is not just and that's it. So good to protect your investment. So seeing that, I see Jordan Morgan as a now, because you want to. Now, granted, he is projected, according to ESPN.com, he is a backup behind Rasheed Walker, but I'm still projecting that he will develop well enough that he'll be playing the first week 8. So that's why he gets the now sticker, because they really needed offensive tackle, and Morgan was the best available tackle. And yes, he was probably not projected as by many as a first round pick, but too many of the offensive tackles were picked up before Green Bay had a chance. And who knows, maybe Green Bay was trying to trade up, but everyone was like, no. So that's probably what happened. So almost 20 picks later in the second round, with the 45th selection of the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers selected Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker, A&M. To Green Bay Packer fans out there, how are you guys feeling about Walker? Quan Walker, the guy from Georgia. How do you guys feeling about him? How do you guys feel about him? Honestly. Yes, Cooper is projected to be more of the middle linebacker of that group as Green Bay goes to a 4-3 defense scheme. How do you guys feel about Walker? Do you guys feel good about him? You feel confident? You feel like maybe he was overrated? You feel like maybe he's underperformed? Maybe his maturity is a factor? Like, how do you guys feel about Walker? Because you guys got another linebacker in this draft later, and I'm like, are you guys feeling okay? You guys feeling okay with him? I'm not saying that Cooper is not a great viable pick linebacker. I'm just thinking that I thought you were going to go secondary in this pick. I thought your second pick was going to go, help shore up the cornerback, defensive back position. Maybe get a receiver, but maybe that's just typical Green Bay thought of. We need a receiver. Why? Because, I don't know. You always ask for a receiver every year, like the Detroit Lions, who draft receivers in the first and every year and never do develop anything. So putting Cooper here in the inside linebacker position, given him he's a now starter position, I just want to ask Green Bay Packer fans, are you guys feeling that Walker has underdeveloped? Because this just feels like this guy's going to become the new captain of the linebackers, and when you're later picking a linebacker who he's also from the SEC, so I guess SEC. I just want to know how I feel about Cooper. Linebacker need, definitely help us out the run. You guys were like, 28th against the run? So definitely, but that does feel like, so Walker, is he not developing as that cornerstone of that middle part of the defense? I have to know. I have to ask questions. So, Green Bay, value pick is so valuable. I'm not going to say no to a linebacker, especially when it comes to stop running. And guess we're sticking with the defense, because with the 58th selection of the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers selected Javon Bullard, A safety, Georgia. Nothing makes me feel prouder than seeing more Georgia Bulldogs getting drafted into the NFL to help rejuvenate a defensive team. Now, very similar to how I feel about the uh, Cooper. Thank you. I had his name in front of me and I just blanked. This is another guy that I feel like is day one starter. This guy's coming in, and I feel like for a lot of Green Bay Packer fans, some of them are still a little butthurt and still a little hurt, obviously, when they remember King and how he gave up Scotty Miller running behind him in the end zone before halftime in the NFC Championship game. That they're saying, as long as it's not King, we're okay here. So now, granted, they signed Xavier McKinney to a big contract, so we got him in there to help with that secondary. But then you're going to team up with a rookie. Development, mentorship, bind, combine, a powers combined, one twin power activate, what have you. But a physical secondary help there. Team up with Stokes and Jared Alexander, which is kind of interesting to see that I've literally been alive to see literally every defensive back that Green Bay Packers have drafted in the first round. 3 out of 4 are now starters projectedly in this upcoming year. So it's kind of nice to see that they're not just wasting these defensive backs' time. They're actually developing and they're actually proving themselves worth. So seeing Bullard in there to be the strong safety position, I feel like is something that I feel very confident he'll be helped with run support. But Xavier, I feel like, is going to be the captain behind that defensive back department. So to me, valuable pick, love it. So we go to the third round with the 88th selection of the 2024 NFL Draft. The Green Bay Packers selected Marshawn Lloyd, running back USC. I like this pick. I'm gonna admit this is the pick that I'll be like, he got drafted. Oh, I'm so excited. Who do you get drafted? Green Bay. Still excited. Now, Green Bay. This is where I'm asking the Green Bay Packer faithful. You guys signed Josh Jacobs to a big contract. You didn't want to keep Aaron Jones. AJ Dillon is also there. I don't think he's a scrub. Why did we get another running back? Why? 3 running backs is very full, especially when Josh Jacobs has proven to be a kind of bell cow type, and you pay a lot of money. So I doubt him and AJ Dillon are going to have like an even split. Honestly, I mean, it might be 70-30, maybe even 60-40, but Josh is going to get all the main carries. So my question is, Lloyd. What is Lloyd place in this? I think Lloyd is a valuable asset to it, but he is, in my opinion, the third best running back on the team, and he has yet to play in a Green Bay Packer uniform. So that's my question is, he's not like Gibbs, where the Lions really only had one running back that would they solidify in Montgomery. This one just felt a little bit like, we got Gibbs, and then he showed off and we're all surprised. This one just feels that, is this more of like an insurance policy in case AJ Dillon suffers injuries or Josh Jacobs suffers injuries? Is this just an insurance? I like Lloyd. I think Lloyd was underappreciated because of Caleb Williams' presence at USC. So this one to me feels like I like the guy, man. I like this pick. I like his play. So I'm just feeling like, man, he's buried in the depth chart by default and not his fault. He's on a team that already has 2 running backs that are first team caliber. So we'll see what he does, but I'm still giving him a now sticker. I still feel he's going to contribute, and hopefully in the preseason we'll prove that. So that's my fanboy bias card. I'll make up a logo one day. So we're going to the late, or not really late, but we're going to the 91st selection in the 2024 NFL Draft, still in the third round. The Green Bay Packers selected Tyron Hooper, linebacker, Mizzou. This is what I was talking about. Green Bay, Walker, how are we feeling about him? You got another SEC defensive linebacker here who, according to him, he's a now. I give him a later because I'm still feeling that Walker and Cooper will still be our, linebacking duo. I mean, McDuffie is the other strong linebacker there. I just feel that he'll be in rotation, maybe later in the rotation, but I feel like it's Cooper's job with Walker and McDuffie, and that will be the linebacking core. Could I see Hooper get some playing time? Obviously, yeah. But I feel like in the beginning of the season, he'll get probably, depending on, injuries, will probably won't play. But if Walker starts struggling in the first 8 weeks of the season, I can see them probably saying, you know, we're going to put Hooper more involved and see what he can do with Cooper side by side. We have Hooper and Cooper. Sounds like a TV show name. Hooper and Cooper, blitzing Packers. New show on Disney Plus, because why not? But like I said, this feels like an insurance policy more for Walker than insurance policy for Cooper. So just want to ask Green Bay Packer fan, how do you feel about that Mizzou defense? I mean, just saying, guys, just how I'm feeling. Staying with defense as they go to the fourth round with the 111th selection, the Green Bay Packers selected Evan Williams, safety, Oregon. Another player I love that Green Bay picked up. This guy just feels that he's a linebacker that's playing safety. This guy just feels like a football player. One is number 33, which is kind of nice to see a starter in college football that doesn't just go for the single digit numbers like, you know, most everyone says, I want to see only why, because it looks slender on me, because I'm also a fashion statement. No, this guy wears 33, very similar to another great safety that we all talked about that Salah's going through some type of midlife crisis, in Jamal Adams, how he was a physical, inside the pocket, stop the run. This guy to me feels like he'll get his hands dirty and he'll make plays in the pocket. He may not get the opportunity until later in the season when, you know, they start seeing how their defense is assembled at the beginning. So I'm going to see this guy potentially being utilized probably more in the second half of the season, especially we see where the Green Bay Packers are landing when it comes to playoff position and division standings. So, but this is another guy like Lloyd that I'm just like, I want you guys to keep an eye on this guy. Keep an eye on this guy because I feel like he's going to be a steal for Green Bay if he plays the way I feel like he's going to play. He is going. The best way I can describe him reminded me of Jordan Whitehead for the Buccaneers, a guy that plays safety, but he's in the box. He's sacking quarterbacks. He's hitting running back behind the line of scrimmage. He's going against tight ends that are way bigger than him. This guy just feels like a football player, and trust me, I'm begging you guys, watch. I feel in my bones this guy could be a steal for Green Bay. Just you hear me out. Or I could be wrong. So, with the fifth round, we'll go with the 163rd selection. The Green Bay Packers selected Jacob Monk, center from Duke. So they did get the center from Duke. Just they got number 63 when the offensive lineman that was heavily praised was 62. Small mistake. It happens. But they got another center. And according to ESPN.com's mock depth chart, Josh Myers is the only projected center on the roster on the depth chart. So I'm going to say that Monk is probably your insurance policy. And I believe that most centers probably have that switchblade type of style where they can play guard as well. So I see this guy as a viable talent. That will make an impact, whether as interior offensive lineman as a guard or as a backup to a center to Myers. And I put him as a later because I believe with the season getting longer and longer, there is always that feeling that even if it's for a player or two, he may get called a chance to play, you know, sooner than later this year, because injuries do happen. And I feel like offensive linemen are one of the few positions that play every single snap together because it's a chemistry of 5 men into one line. So he gets a later, but I feel like he's very valuable as a multi-positional player. That's how I'm feeling anyway. Staying with offensive linemen, because apparently they're making up for lost time after going defense heavy in the first. With the 202nd selection of the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers selected Travis Glover, offensive tackle, Georgia State. I went to Georgia State, so a little bit of fanboy nation of, yeah, you went to Georgia State. I went to Georgia State too. Oh my God. But now the offensive lineman. Do I feel like this is going to be viewed as a potential if Morgan doesn't work out, then they'll go with him? No, but I will not be surprised if it's just, you know, better to be safe than sorry. You know, have one more for safety, as we say in the business. But in this case, is just the same position, but, you know, just another guy. So now I still have him as a later because I am pushing the case of injuries being a factor. He could develop well enough that he can be utilized in short yardage situations as an extra offensive lineman. But I feel like offensive tackles are a prime position. Currently, he is viewed as the right tackle position, third on the depth chart, so he might not get playing time at all. But I feel like offensive linemen are not as heavily like, oh my god, you're a third stringer, than they are if you are a running back. Because big men bodies break down in a long 20 plus week season, preseason, and they go to Super Bowl longer. So healthy offensive lineman, fresh offensive lineman to help in case there's an offensive line that's probably lingering a little bit of a hamstring injury could be considered valuable there. So we'll see how he develops, but I feel like better to have two than just go with one offensive tackle and say, we did it, we solved it, and I'm like, let's have another one just in case. One more slice of cake. I am really hungry. That's probably why I'm talking about food a lot. So, with two more picks left, now we're in the 7th round with the 245th selection. The Green Bay Packers selected Michael Pratt, quarterback, Tulane. Again, Green Bay, are you okay? Are you okay? Jordan Love just had one good season, his first season, and he made massive strides. Not saying that Michael's going to replace him anytime soon, but I just feel that, so he's a backup. A nice, viable backup is still good. I feel like Pratt is very valuable, underappreciated, I believe. But still, I just have to ask, you okay? You okay, Green Bay? You okay? You okay? You good? You good? You know, Packer faithful, you okay? You good? He gets an else because unless Jordan Love gets hurt, which some Green Packers are going, oh, don't say that. He might, there's no time I'm going to see him get a chance to play. I did like him at Tulane. I thought he was a big factor in Tulane's rise to success and prominence in the American Conference. So we'll see what he does in preseason, and we'll see that his valuable backup status keeps him around. We all know because of last year, there's a lot of quarterbacks that sadly had to go through backup for a time to keep their seasons alive. Some succeeded like Cleveland, and some didn't, like Cincy. So maybe this is more of a, if Jordan Love gets hurt, we need someone that we can develop young enough to keep this ship moving forward. I'm getting this ship, ship. I think I said moving forward. Okay, all right. And with the last pick, the 10th pick for them, the 255th selection, the Green Bay Packers selected Kalen King, cornerback, Penn State. Kalen King, my boy, my dude, my guy. Boy, you are low on the depth chart, my friend. You are looking at potentially 4th string here on it. We understand that they took care of some of the defensive back department, mainly the safety department. But I'm my dude. You're kind of low. You're kind of low on the depth chart. So special team might be your calling for right now, and we'll see down the line. We all know that when Jameer Alexander went out, Green Bay secondary kind of felt like they have a big hole they couldn't really plug. So maybe an opportunity to develop quickly enough. But at 255, you're the second to last pick of the draft. 256 was the next one, which was also defensive back by the Jets. We'll talk about that when we talk about the Jets. But this one just, you have a long fight ahead. But thanks to people like Brock Purdy, there's still a chance. And I'm saying there's still a chance. But this year, special teams might be your calling for this year. But we'll see what we do in preseason. We'll see. And that is the Green Bay Packers draft pick. What do I give their grade out of all the players? Green Bay Packer were still viewed as contenders, and I feel like this draft probably helped that a little bit, because there's a lot of players that I feel there's value here that they develop right. Green Bay will be known for their defense as much as they're known for Jordan Love's offense. So they're contenders. I'm giving Green Bay Packers contender grade because I believe they deserve to be contender grade. They have 10. They literally got almost a full roster of players with 10 picks, and a lot of multiple different value: offensive lineman, linebacker, safety, even a running back and a quarterback. So I feel like they got a massive handful. I feel like there's a lot of good players here. Just got to sharpen them out, and I feel like there's some steals in here too. And this video is very long because I got 10 picks, and I'm starting to do my very best. But that's the Green Bay Packers. Okay. Next time, We're going to go from a contender to a potential pretender. And we're going to go to Minnesota and talk about the Purple People Eaters and their draft selection, which I feel like they have probably were like, makes sense to, surprise to, you stole that from me kind of picks. But until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you very much for watching.